Hello, welcome again to my house, where we're doing our podcast. My name is Tony. I am with my co-host, Justin.
Hello.
He is here at my house. This is why I'm speaking first. These are the rules that go along with our podcast.
Essentially, that's the rules.
That's the only rule.
Do we have
Whoever's house it is gets to open the podcast.
one rule? That's it. One rule to rule them all.
The one. One rule to rule that one rule that we have.
So what are we talking about today, Tony?
Today we have news about the 999 Red Band trailer we literally just watched. The only reason I put it on my list is because it has popular people in it. Anthony Mackie, who is the Falcon in Marvel movies. It has Norman Reedus, who is in The Walking Dead. It has Jesse Pinkman, also known as Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul is his real name from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but he's really Jesse Pinkman.
And then
That's
Kate Winslet.
all that matters.
All these people are in it. And Woody Harrelson. We're going to talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Have some news. There's a PS4 remake coming your way that you might be interested in. That you
I know. I know about it.
Oh. I'm going to talk about my troubles I had with Spotify on the PS4 and how I fixed it. We're going to talk about Battlefront. You got Battlefront.
Mm-hmm.
I played a little bit of Fallout 4. And then the main topic is the question, what video game universe would you most like to be stuck in?
Yes, stranded in the gaming world. Which one will you choose?
That's right. So let her rip.
And we're back from that amazing song.
Yay, song. Yay, theme song.
It's the best.
It's up there.
As the number one. Only best.
No, it's the best song we have on our podcast.
That is so true. Moving on. To the news.
Let's do some stuff.
What would you like to talk about first, Tony?
Let's just get the small stuff out of the way.
Okay.
Specifically, 999 Red Band trailer we just watched. I just talked about all those people are in it. What did you think? We watched the trailer. It's like a 2-minute trailer.
I was not impressed. At first, it starts off with Woody Harrelson. Either way, playing classic character that he almost always is, which is like a drunk dude who's like super intense. Yes, he's always like
he's like a rough and tumble kind of guy.
Yeah, he always is, and it just seems like he's a more drunk version of that.
I guess. Well, it's because you see him in a bar.
Right,
he's in a bar,
and he's definitely drunk in part of the video. Yeah. Either way, overall, just seems like another kind of thug, sketchy police movie.
Yeah,
where it's making the police kind of look sketchy, which I'm sure there are sketchy police, and making Thug Life look kind of sketchy, which we all know Thug Life is sketchy.
Thug Life.
And it talks about how not everything is black and white, which seems to be the whole theme of the movie.
Yeah. When I read about it before I watched the trailer, I'm like, oh, that's cool. There's so many people. Aaron Paul, Norman Reedus, Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, like, wow, these guys are in a whole bunch of things. This could be really good. Then I watched it, and I'm like, I was super hyped when it first started, and then halfway through the trailer, I'm like, well, this looks dumb.
Yeah, it just seems to be violence and sex.
Yeah.
Is what they're trying to put in the movie. That's what I got from the trailer, at least.
Yeah. So, I don't expect big things, but I thought we would talk about it, because there's people in it from shows and movies that we watch and talk about.
Official trailer review? Not impressed. From me. That's the Underpaid Gamers
Ditto.
Official review. Not impressed.
Call of Duty news / CSGO news. Counter-Strike Go. Global Offensive. Luminosity, who has a CSGO team, also has joined the COD team. They made a team of Spacely, John, Replays, and Proofy. If you don't watch the scene, you don't know who these people are.
I don't.
They are pretty good. They're not bad. There was a tournament this last weekend, the first Black Ops 3 tournament.
I watched part of it.
I watched some of it. I didn't realize it was a one-day tournament, so I heard the announcer say that this was the last round, and I turned it off, and I guess there's like 2 or 3 more hours left after that.
Oh my goodness.
So I missed everything. Optic came in second. I believe Rise came in first. So there's that. News for Smash 4. Want to talk about it?
Oh my gosh. Is this the news that I think it is?
It's the only news I have.
It's the best news ever.
He's holding up the L for loser and a 5 for high five. So I think it was a high five me because I'm a loser.
Or if we stick those numbers together, what do we get? 7. Why does 7 matter? Because it's from Final Fantasy 7. The newest character for Super Smash Bros. 4 will be my main character. I don't care if he's bad, what tier he is. I don't care, because it's not Melee, so I'm not competitive in it anyways. Cloud Strife is the new DLC for Smash 4.
Yep. I never played Final Fantasy, so I don't care that much. He has a big sword, and that's cool. I also don't play Smash 4, so there's 2 things I don't really care about.
Yeah, so...
I don't have a Wii U, so 3 things.
There's some excitement about it. I know some other really characters that are heavily voted for. I know it's like Goku, so some people like really want him. I'm cool with Cloud. I think he's going to be super fun. Sora would be awesome as well. Would be so cool. But Cloud's going to be in there, so I'm super pumped to watch the video of it. And he has, like, I love the sound effects for some of his moves. They're like classic Final Fantasy sounds, like the materia and magic use is the same sound effect from the game.
Okay, so Cloud can use magic and a sword?
Yeah. So
is that very similar to Robin, who was already in?
Yes. If we don't want to get into technicalities about what magic is like in Final Fantasy VII, essentially what they've added is another guy with a big sword has some magic powers.
So Robin.
But I don't think any of the magic he can use is like fireballs and stuff like that. It's more like sword magic to an extent. So kind of like the other guy.
Okay.
What's the other guy? There's a guy who has like his sword gets really big. Xenoblade? Shulk. Kind of like Shulk, maybe. Yeah. Either way, another swordsman, but I don't care because it's Cloud. That's fun. Yeah, he's not my favorite character from Final Fantasy, but he is one of them.
Is he your favorite from Final Fantasy VII?
He is not my favorite from Final Fantasy VII.
Who's your favorite from Final Fantasy VII?
Sid in 7 is legit. I love him.
That's fun.
He's my favorite Sid. Actually, he's my favorite character from all the games, honestly.
Sid from 7?
Yeah. Though 7 isn't my favorite Final Fantasy. I think it's good.
6 is your favorite?
No.
7, 8.
No.
10.
No.
9.
Yes. 9.
Got
it. You just kept guessing numbers, Tony. I'm really impressed.
Got it.
Final Fantasy 9 is my favorite, which I'm sure we'll talk about eventually. And I think I've referenced it at least before when we talked about Generations.
You can reference any Final Fantasy game, and I won't know anything about it.
Exactly.
Except for Final Fantasy Dirge of Cerberus, which
which is kind of like a shooter game, which is really liked it. You played it.
I played 12 for about 24 hours, and then it went on for like another 100. I'm like, well.
And that's like the only one that I haven't really played.
But there's like a pirate character, Balthier.
Yeah.
Legit. He's my
super
favorite.
Legit. There it is.
It was fun. Jessica Jones is the new Marvel miniseries, I guess.
Supergirl version?
No, she's not. It's dark.
I mean, it is dark, but
it's coming out in 2 days.
Isn't her powers parallel to Supergirl?
I don't think so.
I mean, generally,
I don't
like
know
super
a lot
strong
about her powers. I think she has strength, but it's not like Supergirl strength. Like in the trailer, it shows her lifting up a car, but she's like, "Well, I can lift up a medium-sized car, but she can't like lift up a plane."
Okay, so she's not like
ridiculous. So she's not overpowered like Supergirl or Superman, which is why I hate them.
I know you hate
one of the reasons. But Jessica Jones looks really good.
Yeah, it does. I'm excited.
Luke Cage is going to be in it, so that'll be fun.
Interesting.
I'm going to watch that here when it comes out in 2 days.
And we'll talk about
it. I watched Daredevil when it came out.
Watch Daredevil in one weekend.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
All of it.
C9, Cloud9, has a Dota 2 team.
Oh.
They fired one of their players, Ritsu, for, I believe, it was very much like the New England Patriots a long time ago, where they like recorded stuff of other teams and they were dishing it out to people.
Not surprised.
So C9 found out about it, Ritsu, and it was like, hey, you're out.
Because he cheated.
Yeah, but Ritsu has also had a plethora of out-of-game problems. Scandals and like...
Video game scandals.
The way he's been like behaving and stuff. Cloud9's like, well, this kind of... I don't like this.
Yep.
And then he went overboard and he's like, I don't like this. So he got fired. Which... How do you get... I don't know.
I mean, it seems sketchy.
He's
and
literally...
Props to C9 for firing him.
Literally living the dream. Playing video games for money.
Right. How does it get better than that?
It doesn't.
I don't know.
He literally had the best thing, and then the worst thing ever happened to him, which is where he got fired from that thing, which is even worse than never having that thing to begin with. I would argue.
I agree.
He has tasted the golden sweet nectar of money from video games, and now he has nothing.
Yep.
Except he might get signed to another team, I don't know.
He shouldn't, if he's cheating. That's wrong. I'm taking a moral stance. Cheating is wrong. What else do we got here? Oh.
PS4 remake. Talk about it. You have one, I have one.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Well, mine's not a remake. Well, I guess it's a remake.
Mine
Go ahead and go.
Is Valkyria Chronicles.
Valkyria Chronicles.
There's a sequel and a remake. This is a game that I've borrowed from you twice, and never got past a certain level either time. Just because I got tired.
Was it the Sand Tanky level?
I couldn't beat the Sand Tank level the first time. Borrowed it from you again. Got a couple levels past that, and was like, I'm tired of this,
dude.
So
you just gotta power through. I've beaten that game twice. I think.
Really?
Yep, played through twice. Great game.
They're remaking it, and normally when you remake games, you add like a graphics pack. But it's cel-shaded, so you can't really make better graphics.
Right.
Than that.
It's already artistic-y. Like, it's hard to make it better.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Maybe higher resolution. Maybe that could be it.
I don't know.
Either way, Valkyria Chronicles, for those of you who don't know, is a tactics game that is cel-shaded, kind of anime-esque, semi-based off of World War II, but definitely mythicized.
Pretty much based off World War II.
The basic storyline.
The story is, but there's
small little differences, and then there's also like the ridiculousness of like some fantasy in there as well. Overall, really enjoyed the game. Was kind of sad because everything I'd ever read about it said that we're never making another major installment of this game for major consoles.
Oh, but they lied.
But because they made like a PSP game or something that was a sequel to it, and then it kind of puttered out, and I was like, no, I love Valkyria Chronicles. But then they decided to make one new one, and I saw it in a tweet today, and then Tony talked about it, and now I'm really excited. I'm going to buy it. And I'll tell you how it is. Our faithful listeners.
Do you know when it's coming out?
I do not know a date.
2016, probably?
Probably. Another bit of news from PS4 is the game Darkest Dungeon, which is a PC game. The PC game is kind of another tactics game, but it's a 2D scroller that is kind of like a classic RPG approach to. I'd say it's more of an RPG than tactics.
Really?
Yeah, because you're not really like placing soldiers places. There is a little bit of placement for combat, but I don't want to get into the gritty details of it. But either way, the game takes a new approach to RPG and dungeon crawlers to where your characters gain stress.
Is this a game that you were playing on your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Not on my phone.
Not on your phone?
I did not play it on my phone. I don't think you can play it on your phone. Either way, it's like a side-scroller RPG. Stress is involved, and so you have to prepare for these dungeons, and you take risks by spending money, and money's really hard to get by. Either way, it has some really cool challenges to it that I think change the classic dungeon crawler into a more intense game. And it is dark. It's a dark game, kind of gory.
Ooh.
Not like, and it's 2D though, so it's like almost like cartoony gory.
2D gory.
But it's a dark game. And it's fun. And don't get attached to your characters.
Oh, okay.
Because they all die.
Because they all die.
Like, literally, you just die all the time.
Is that they all died part of the story, or they all died just because it's hard?
Well, the individual characters that you have don't have a story.
Oh.
You just like to recruit people. It's interesting.
Okay.
I think you would enjoy it. You'd see it as a challenge. I think.
I have a computer that can't play games because it's old. So maybe I'll get it for the
You could probably play Darkest Dungeon. It's not graphically terrible.
So we've talked about it before, and I'll talk about it again.
Okay.
There's a Spotify app on the PS4.
There is.
Where you can listen to Spotify. You actually got me started.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. You can start Spotify on your PS4, listen to it through your headphones while you're playing a game. Mm-hmm. Really cool. You can create your own playlist, whatever, just like Spotify on your computer, but you can do it with your PS4.
I had a Bloodborne playlist when I was playing Bloodborne.
So I've run into a problem where I have a playlist I made, which is about 150 songs, and I start playing it through the app on my PS4. It always starts with the same song, and I have to choose random, and then of the 150 songs, it only plays like 30 of them randomly, and it repeats those 30. Mm-hmm. It won't play any other song. It's very frustrating, because I have so many other songs I want to listen to. Mm-hmm.
So this is really a problem you run into when you're playing games for a long period of time.
Yeah, like 2 hours. If I'm playing like Call of Duty or whatever. To the point where like so there's 150 songs, it only plays like the first 30 I added to the playlist, and then instead of playing a new song, it will just replay those 30. Like, there's 90 other songs on here or whatever.
Well, from the initial shuffle.
Yes, it only plays the first,
so it shuffles 30 songs from the whole playlist.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Okay. Anyway, I posted on Reddit how to fix it. It turns out if you go to your phone, and you start it from your phone, so to start the playlist on your phone, and connect your PS4, it'll play exactly how you want it to.
Perfect.
So there's not a limit on skips. There's not... It randomizes. It starts with a different song. You listen to all these other songs, so it actually goes through the whole 150 instead of like the first 30, which I was listening to.
Yeah.
So that's my solution. It works really well. Someone pulled through on Reddit and told me how to do it. I've really been enjoying listening to music now, as opposed to being really frustrated with Spotify.
Yep. That's cool. I tend to... I don't know if this... I haven't tried this yet, but usually when I listen to Spotify and I'm playing a game, I'm sitting next to my computer. Mm-hmm. So I just listen to music through my computer with Spotify. If I'm not using a headset. Yeah. I bet I could do this. I bet you could control with the computer what you're listening through your headphones. So I wonder if that would fix it as well.
I'm sure there's a connect devices option here.
There is. It's the button over there that our listeners can't see.
My PS4 has to be on. But it's super nice because I listen to it through my headphones. Mm-hmm. So everything's just in one spot.
It's real nice.
So it's really fun.
Sweet.
One more thing, then we'll move on to our topics of discussion. Nuka-Cola Quantum.
From Jones Soda. Also from Target. Ooh. I went to Target.
I bought Fallout 4 recently, this week. My wife was like, hey, I'm going to Target today. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll go buy Fallout. I really hadn't planned on it, but I just bought it anyway because I had discounts.
It was an impulse decision?
I had planned on buying it. I had discounts for it. And I was like, well, I guess I'll go today instead of later on in the week. So I went with her. I asked one of the guys if they had any Nuka-Cola Quantum. Mm-hmm. And he said that Target, on the day that it opened, on the day that Fallout released, Target opens at 8 a.m. They were sold out by 8:30.
Wow.
All the Nuka-Cola Quantum.
Holy cow.
That being said, I have something for us.
No.
You do something while I leave. Huh? So sing the national anthem or something. I'll be back.
That's Tony singing, by the way. Well, I guess I could tell you a joke, listeners. This is a terrible joke. I've got actually 3 jokes specifically. I've got 2 short jokes and a long joke. It goes like this. Joke, joke, joke.
Don't worry, I'm back. You never have to listen to that again.
That was a bad joke.
There you go.
Wow!
As far as the listeners know, it's Nuka-Cola Quantum.
Wow, this Nuka-Cola is so glowy.
Look, it even says Atomic City on it.
It does say Atomic City.
And it glows.
It is.
It's the berry lemonade flavor.
It is. It is not
Nuka-Cola Quantum is so good.
I was so excited. And now I'm only slightly less excited because I love Jones Soda.
I'm a little upset.
Regardless. Well, thank you for the Jones Soda.
Sure. I'm going to open it right now.
Me too. Ooh. What is my little fortune here? With renewed energy, accomplish what you can.
Your sense of humor will be your key to success.
Not mine, because my jokes are bad.
Joke!
That's the long joke. You missed 2 short jokes. Did you hear them?
Don't need to repeat them.
All right, so do you want to talk about Battlefront and Fallout 4 before we move on to the Stranded on the Gaming World?
Yeah. Let's talk about Battlefront first, because that's your game. However, before we get into it, I have a question for you.
Okay, what is your question?
I was following Hutch on Twitch, and he said, not on Twitch, on Twitter, he said that he was playing Battlefront on Xbox. It took him more than a half an hour to get into a game.
Wow.
He said the servers were down, and I immediately thought, way to go, EA, you screwed it up again. How was your experience on PS4?
I didn't have any connection issues with playing multiplayer. Mm-hmm. I got on about, what time was it? Probably 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, I'd say, roughly. I mean, we have listeners from all over the world, Tony. You've seen the statistics.
Yeah.
So I had no problems with connectivity.
Shout out to Germany.
What's up, Germany? We have a lot of Germany people.
What up?
A lot of Germans. A couple of UK people. Some of our brothers and sisters from across the pond. Got some people from Japan. I say brothers and sisters because they speak English, but I guess Germans speak English too. Actually, lots of people speak English.
Most people speak English.
It's a pretty common language I've heard. But as an American with our American education, where secondary languages are kind of not as...
Anyways, back to Fallout.
Okay.
Or back to Battlefront.
For education. Battlefront didn't have any problems with the servers.
I also heard there's only 11 guns in the game.
There are... I have 12. Because I have the... Well, maybe it's 11. I have the deluxe edition with the Han Solo blaster.
Oh my.
Which does so much damage.
Is it like a 2-shot kill? I know there's a 2-shot kill pistol.
It's pretty crazy.
I asked you to stream it last night, and you never responded to my text. I never checked it.
It's because I was playing in the living room on a wireless connection.
You moved your PS4 back out to the living room?
Yeah, for Battlefront, because my roommates care about Battlefront.
Oh, that's weird.
Because it's entertaining to them. Either way, no problems with connection. I will say the installation was interesting because usually you just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah.
But it had like a game to play during installation where essentially you were in the hangar at Hoth as Darth Vader and just a limitless supply of rebels keep flowing through. You just kill them.
Huh. So
that was kind of interesting. It's like a survival mode. Wasn't hard at all. It wasn't really challenging, and you were invincible.
Yeah.
It's just a time waster, but it was a good attempt. I think a better attempt than like just having nothing going on during installation.
That makes sense.
It didn't take too long either. In the game, had some fun. I was so excited to play some new maps because I played the Battlefront beta pretty extensively. I didn't play any of the maps that were in the beta. Some similar locations. I played.
You haven't in the full game. You haven't redone the maps in the beta. Is what you're saying?
Ooh, I've only redone one of the maps from the beta, and I played a different.
Are there? Do you think?
Well, there are. I don't know. I still haven't experienced all the maps.
Like 14.
I experienced Hoth, Sullust, Endor, Tatooine. All of those planets in different ways. I played a round of basically team deathmatch on Endor.
Okay.
Which I did terribly. It was my very first round playing. Then I played the fighter game, the Assault, the Squadron, that's what it's called, where you protect the shuttles from escaping. I played a map on that one, which was over Tatooine. And then I played Walker Assault for the rest of my time, because I love that. Well, no, I played another one. I played Walker Assault for, I think, 3 rounds. I played on Endor, on Sullust, and on, what was the other planet? Tatooine. Yep. So I played Walker Assault on those 3 planets. Really beautiful maps. Man, I cannot get over how pretty this game is. It's so pretty.
Is it worth it?
Well, as the quintessential Star Wars fan, yes.
You think it's necessary?
So far, it's fun. It's been super fun. I got on a crazy kill streak on one of the maps. And then I played Droid Assault, which is essentially domination, but a little bit different. But essentially the same thing. Which is a lot of fun. And that one was on the map, the beta map on Solus, the volcanic planet.
Oh, okay. That's one.
It was that map. So I haven't experienced any other maps with that. But I enjoyed it quite thoroughly. I like Battlefront because, first off, I'm not as intense about it as I am with Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty, have to 100% focus. I'm worried about my stats and everything. When I play Battlefront, I don't feel the need to do that because I'm not trying to prove anything, just having fun. And the whole time when I was playing, I was telling my roommates, I was like, man, I'm doing so bad. And at the end of the map, for 3 maps in a row, I was the number 1 on the map. So I was like, I guess I'm not doing that bad. But I just really enjoy Battlefront because I get to use those iconic vehicles. Like I used a speeder on Endor, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Really fast. I was not very good at it. I got 1 kill before I crashed. But
Kamikaze? You ran him over?
No, I shot him with the really slow blaster thing. So I could definitely feel the growing pains in the game because, at least in the meta game, I should say, it's
I don't
not.
know what that means.
What I mean by that is people were not comfortable with the maps yet, and so that some people, like halfway through the game, people would start using like an area of the map more so than others. And what I mean by that is on Endor, you can get up into like the Ewok villagey places, like up high in the trees. And for the first half of the game, nobody used it at all.
Yeah. And
then, like, one person used it and got a bunch of kills, and then everybody then realized that you could get up in the trees. Then everybody started using it. So it kind of in that transition phase where everybody's, like, starting to feel out the maps, kind of figure it out. I do like the level. I like Endor because it is highly... what do I want to say? There's a lot of verticality to the map in Endor and I played it in multiple modes with the Ewok village up in the stuff, and also fallen trees matter too. So the maps are generally big, but they have a lot of versatility to them. At least the Endor maps. I know Hoth is pretty stable. There's just like trenches that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, and
then Sullust has trenches too, sort of, but it's not like built-in trenches. It's like natural trenches and lots of... I guess it's kind of vertical too, but it's not as vertical as Endor. So far, I'm enjoying it, and I love it just because of the iconic vehicles. And I played a couple Walker Assault maps, and I've gotten pretty good at flying those ships around.
There you go.
I got 7 kills. I was playing in an A-Wing, and I got 7 TIE Fighter / TIE Interceptor kills in a row. And took down an ATST with it. And got a couple strafing rounds with some kills. So I would say I was getting pretty effective with the aerial vehicles, which I really enjoy that you're able, because I've heard that in the Battlefield 4, which I played, so I guess I know. Well, they didn't have actual planes in that one.
Well, they had fighter jets.
Yeah, they did. They had fighter jets. A lot of people find it difficult to use those jets super effectively against ground targets that are like just individual people. But in Star Wars, you can slow down your ship slow enough that it's difficult, but you can strafe and get a couple kills from a strafing run. Yeah. So I would say it adds to the complexity of the game, where if you have somebody who's really good in a ship, like that can sway the battle, right? That can have an effect. So you really do need to have good pilots.
The beta flying was my favorite, I think.
Yeah, and I know we had trouble with flying in the beta because you only had that one stick. You only use one stick for it. And so if you start doing like barrel rolls and stuff,
I'll use two. I'll use both.
Well, I mean, you use one for speed.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're like going up and trying to do barrel rolls and all this stuff without the D-pad, you can kind of get wonky with it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't experience that. I don't know if they fixed it or if they like tweaked it a little bit so you didn't feel that way. I didn't feel it yet with that, but so far I've enjoyed it.
You played one day? How many days?
With the beta? Or
no, the game.
I mean, it came out yesterday.
Did it come out yesterday?
So I played it for probably 2.5 hours yesterday.
Cool. So that is your opinion of Battlefront.
So far, I'm enjoying it.
On a A to F grading scale, what do you give it?
I'd give it a B.
Solid B?
A solid B for Battlefront. Because... see what I did there?
Joke!
Stop it! It's not funny, Tony. Just because going from Call of Duty to Battlefront, the controls are not as crisp. It feels a little more clunky.
Oh.
The control, like...
You think Call of Duty has
better
streamlined controls?
Yes. I would say so.
Even with the wall running and jumping and stuff?
Even with the wall running and jumping. That I'm getting better at.
You have this thing that you love doing called James Bonding.
Oh,
you
man.
You run around with a pistol-only class.
I love it.
And it's a lot of fun. Me and you did it 2 nights ago.
We did.
We played a game. We were on the same team, so it was kind of a competition. On a small map. And then the second time, you got kicked and booted, and you were on the other team for whatever reason. So it was me versus you.
Yeah.
Both of us were using pistols. Both of us James Bonding. So what you do as James Bonding is you only have a pistol secondary, and you can do perks and attachments and lethals and secondaries, whatever you want. But the score streaks are like what James Bond would use. Mm-hmm. So you can use the Cerberus, which is like a little tank, which he would use. Yeah. A Talon, which is a little flying tank that he would use. Yeah. And like stuff like that. Yeah. So just little gadgets.
And support. And you could do support too, like UAV is fine. Like he could do that. But I would say we had a lot of success the very first round we played because I think the other team was just absolutely terrible. There are some examples where like this one guy was coming up this platform at me and I had like one burst left in the burst pistol, which I call the B-23R from Black Ops.
It's Arcade 5.
Something like that. Either way, I shot my one burst at him, and then I had to reload. He literally shot everywhere around me. I reloaded. He jumped over me, and I killed him. Like, I don't know how that's possible.
You use the burst pistol. I use the semi-auto pistol. Yeah. The MR6.
And I got 2 kill streaks in a row. I got 2 Cerberuses in a row.
You did. I think it was MR6 is more difficult to use than burst pistol. However,
I would agree.
When we played against each other, I think we killed each other an even amount of times.
We did, and also the map. We have to take a second to talk about the maps with pistoling, with James Bonding. Small maps, obviously, I think make more sense with pistoling. James Bonding work best
because pistols aren't long range.
Right. We played a much bigger map the second time, and our KDs both went down. My KD went down significantly. I think I was like close. I think I was at 1. Close to 1. On the small map, I was like 4.
I can't remember that.
I can't remember the specifics, but I think I remember ending it in the 30s with like 10 deaths.
I know that on the first one, you might have gotten a better KD, but I had a higher score.
That was the case.
I think that's a win in my book.
Well, anytime that you beat me at one category, that's all you need. It doesn't matter what category it is. Like, I got more assists than you, so I win. No. Tony's generally better at most video games than me, but I did beat him sometimes. With Fox 2 weeks ago.
Shut up. I picked up Fallout 4, like I talked about, random trip to Target. I've only played it a little bit. And Fallout 4 is an interesting game, and I'm going to talk about some things which some people might qualify as spoilers. but I've only played the game for about 2 hours.
Okay.
And the game itself is at least 25 hours plus to do the main story mission.
And that's the main story alone.
I would think so.
Okay.
That's an estimate. I would also say that if you can talk about the first 2 hours of a game, but that's like less than 10% of the game. That's not necessarily spoiling it.
I agree.
So we're going to talk about the first 2 hours. And my experiences, there's going to be mild spoilers. If you want to go into it naked, don't listen. But I want to talk about some things. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't get very far.
Okay. So let's take it.
Actually, I bought the game. Let's say I bought it on Tuesday. I didn't start playing it until Wednesday.
Okay.
On Tuesday, ever since it came out, I had been avoiding spoilers at all costs.
I have been too.
And I was on Facebook, and my cousin made a status, and it spoiled the main story mission for me.
Oh,
not the ending, it just spoiled what the main story mission is. So at first I'm like, oh, that sucks. But then I got into the game, and literally, he only spoiled like the first 10 minutes.
That's good.
So it wasn't bad. But essentially, what they showed at E3 was what happens. You're in your house, and you make your face, and you make your wife's face, and then the nukes happen, you go to the vault. That's what happens. There's a whole bunch of facial options. I'm sure you've seen pictures and stuff on Twitter and stuff.
Bethesda's really, Fallout has always had a lot of customization for faces.
Yeah. This time even more so. I think it's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I made a guy with really long hair, kind of like a rocker garage band hair.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there has been a couple times where like the hair like goes down to his shoulders and like kind of flips out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like clipped through some of his wardrobe options.
Mm-hmm.
So like if he'll wear a jacket with a high collar, his hair will go through it.
Okay.
So there are a couple of bugs in Fallout, which is interesting because you wouldn't expect that from Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost feels like they kind of rushed it out.
Maybe
everyone talks about bugs and stuff.
What other bugs have you? I saw a tweet saying that there's been one major bug found.
There's one game-breaking bug.
That's what it was, the game-breaking bug. But in a game that size, though, like how can you say it's ever going to be perfect?
People complain about the graphics, and I think they look fantastic. They look so good. Like, I know it's PC players, and PC are like, no, PC's the best.
Right.
And my graphics are really
PC
good.
Master Race.
I'm like, shut up. You're ruining it for the rest of us because these graphics are really good.
Mm.
So I hate them.
It's okay. You
I
can
hate
them.
Race.
The race of the PCs?
Yeah.
I have a PC. Do you hate me?
I do. Anyway, so
the truth comes out.
So I'm going to talk about what happens in the vault. You go into the vault. They put you in this decontamination chamber because you have to be depressurized to go into the vault.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out they're actually they freeze you cryogenically.
Oh,
so you're frozen for 200 years.
Whoa.
When you come out of the vault, you're the only one. You're the only survivor. Your wife is in there, and your son Sean is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out you wake up like at 199 years, and someone has taken Sean, your baby. Like you watch them.
Oh wow!
They kill your wife, and they take your baby.
Oh,
I don't know why they take Sean yet.
It's motivation. This is so much motivation.
Right, and then you become unfrozen like a year later or whatever. Come out of the vault. The vault is actually right next to your neighborhood that you used to live in back before the war.
Which makes sense.
Which is super nice because it's in walking distance. So you go back to your neighborhood. You do some stuff there. You talk to your robot butler. He's like, hey, maybe some people down in Concord know what happened to your boy.
Mm-hmm.
The robot's a little crazy.
Okay, like psychotic?
Like, he's been working for 200 years, so he's kind of short-circuited.
Okay, I got you.
So that happens. You go down to Concord. You talk to some people. And then eventually, after you do all that, this is right where I ended, you bring them back up to your neighborhood, and that's when you start building your, like, the neighborhood's called Sanctuary. That's when you build your
settlement?
Your shelter. So that's kind of where I've ended right now. So you're kind of building the shelter and stuff. It feels a lot like Fallout. You go through power armor, you get right at the very beginning, and I thought you only got one power armor. There's power armor scattered everywhere throughout the map.
Wow.
I've already found 2. I've only played a little bit.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, with Fallout 3, I felt like it took forever to get power armor.
Yeah, you get it super early. You get dog meat. You have to get dog meat at the very beginning. There is, again, we've talked about the map size. It does seem a little bit smaller. It only takes about 10 minutes to go from one corner to the next.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of stuff to do. One glitch, I believe it was a glitch. There is a robotics scrapyard that you find randomly. It's not a quest or anything, I don't think. But I went up there, found it. There was like this fully functional assault drone that was depowered. I went into the main shack of the robotics plant, turned on the robot, and it was like this high level like rocket firing machine gun laser sight robot. But it was stuck in this glitch where it would only look down on the ground and it wouldn't move at all.
Wow.
So I'm at like level 5. It's at like level 15
and you killed
20.
It.
And I just killed it. It didn't attack me back. It took a lot of ammo, but I just straight up murked it.
Yeah.
And I got all the stuff off it. I'm like, I don't know if this is on purpose or not.
Right.
But I got stuff from it. I've already found a fat man.
Nice.
Again, within the first 2 hours or whatever. I've done some exploring. I've leveled up a little bit. Leveling up is different, but I don't have a lot of experience with it yet, so I can't talk too much about it.
Okay.
I'm having fun. The first day I played it, there was like a lot of tutorials and a lot of stuff. I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. Played it today, felt much better. There's no more weapon conditions or armor conditions.
Really?
Yeah. So your armor and weapons don't break down, as far as I know.
Well, that's nice.
So it's kind of nice because you'll.
That's part of the realistic part of it, though.
Yeah, you'll pick up like a 10mm pistol, and you just need one. So then you find all these others on the ground, and you're like, well, I need that to fix mine. Oh, wait, I don't actually need that anymore.
Yeah, because that used to be a big part of the game, or at least a lot of the time was taken up in the menu was just repairing stuff.
Yeah,
and like, I'm going to break that down, I'm going to break that down, I'm going to break that down.
Yeah.
Fix it up.
So now you don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Interesting.
The interface for building your shelter is really nice. What you do, essentially, is you go into this interface, and you can delete things, and those things give you items. Like, they give you, like, steel of 5, or wool or wood.
So you're like salvaging
plastic.
or...
Yeah, so you salvage all these things, and really all you have to do, go up to it, press square, and then it tells you what's in it, and then you press X, and that confirms that you want to salvage it.
Break it down.
So I just went through the first couple towns, destroyed everything, got a whole bunch of parts.
Nice.
A whole bunch of junk. So that's my experience with Fallout 4 so far. I am currently playing Fallout 4 and Black Ops 3 at the same time. I'll play Fallout 4 when I'm at home and nobody else is online playing. But as soon as somebody else gets online, I'll pretty much play Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Because it's more social.
Fair enough.
On to the question of the day of the week. This comes from, I've been watching Log Horizon again. This is the second watch through. You have never watched it.
I have not.
I think you should watch it.
Log Horizon?
If we had homework, which I had brought it to you and you never answered.
Dude, I don't want to do homework, man.
I think we should give each other homework.
I give homework. I don't do homework.
Yeah, but it's fun homework. Anyway, Log Horizon, this is very much like Sword Art Online, where these people are trapped inside of a video game.
Oh.
However, I think it's more mature than Sword Art Online. I think you'd very much enjoy it. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Is it an anime?
Yes.
Okay.
They explain it better. I am watching it. It's not on Netflix. I'm just watching it on either like Watch Cartoon Online or KissAnime.com.
Okay.
I just watched both of them. The first season, I believe, is only 25 episodes, and it's English dubbed. The second season is 25 episodes, not English dubbed yet. I'm going to watch that next. But it's very good. Like I said, you're trapped in a video game universe. So what brings us to the question of the day. What would be the best game to be trapped in, to be stuck in? I'll let you go first.
Okay, so...
And then I'll tear down your answer.
Okay, I don't think you will be able to. My answer is a little bit cheesy, I would say. I kind of have two answers to this. I have my gut knee-jerk reaction, which I think would be a great place. No. The answer is Harvest Moon, Back to Nature. Do you know what Harvest Moon is?
I know what it is. I never played it.
It's a farming simulator.
Yeah.
And like a life simulator. And like you just start out, you inherit this farm, and you build it up, and you make friends with the ladies in town.
Yeah.
And then you get married and have a kid and keep farming and upgrade all your stuff and make lots of money and help out the town. It's very pleasant. It's like a peaceful.
You do nothing.
Essentially.
So what you want to do in a video game is nothing. You just want to farm.
That was my initial reaction.
Okay.
Then my second reaction was, well, that is kind of boring. Though I don't know why I love that game so much, but I do. I love Harvest Moon.
Time out.
Okay.
I just Googled...
Pumpkin Moon?
No, I Googled... What is it called? Harvest Moon enemies, and it took me to Pumpkin Moon, which is the official Terraria wiki.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how those relate at all.
Okay.
But there's an enemy called the Morning Wood, and I think that's very funny.
Gross.
Anyway, go on.
So that's kind of a boring answer.
It is boring.
But it's peaceful. my other answer would be...
But why would you want to be stuck in a peaceful, boring place?
I mean, is it boring, though?
Yes.
Have you played Harvest Moon?
No. But farming is pretty boring, I would assume.
Probably.
You do the same thing.
I assume so.
You're Amish.
I think that would be my answer for, like, not risk-taking. Like, I want to live. My second answer, after I thought about it a little bit longer, is Elder Scrolls. Because of how much there is to do in the game, the diversity in the game, you have access to a lot of really cool things. Now, there's also heck of a lot more risk involved if you get stranded in that game, because there's all the bad people, there's like dragons, there's Oblivion. Like, if we were talking about Oblivion time period, then we have like Oblivion gates going up everywhere, and the Daedric Lord's coming through and just like killing everybody and ravaging towns. If we're talking about Skyrim, we're talking about dragon attacks. But there's a lot of cool things about Skyrim too. First off, it's beautiful. Second off, there is the beauty of magic, and there's also other pursuits you can take as well. You could take,
but you're thinking of this as you're the main character, and it's very unlikely that you would be the Dragonborn, as there is only one Dragonborn.
But either way, you can still use a lot of people can use magic in Skyrim, not just the hero.
Yeah,
there's whole schools of magic that people go to.
Yeah, but not everybody gets allowed in.
Okay,
I'm saying
maybe. I mean, I understand, but there's just so much to do. It's like a whole world. It's like a fantasy world. Who knew? What did you pick? Oh, gross. That was nasty. This chair just squeaked.
That's his chair.
I apologize. Tony, what did you pick?
I haven't really picked one yet. I ran through a couple in my head.
Oh, my gosh. Coming in here, giving me crap.
Realistic ones. The most realistic game would probably be Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
However, with the recent expansion of online, there have been a lot more players. Mm-hmm. So you have to take that into account.
Okay.
Is that you have to play online, which probably means civilians get killed all the time. You would be a civilian.
Okay.
Obviously, you would not be a cop. That is probably the most dangerous occupation in those games.
Yes.
So I was thinking that would be a good one. I think RPGs would probably be the safest bet.
So you chose the one that's most like real life.
Yes.
How original.
GTA is much more entertaining than Harvest Moon. There's so many more things you can do in GTA. Can you go bowling in Harvest Moon?
No. Well, I mean, if you're a civilian, essentially what you're saying is, I don't want my life to change at all. I want it to be the exact same, except for now I can get ran over by random people with, like, grenade launchers.
Yeah, but now we're getting, like, some sweet cars.
But those cars exist in real life?
I don't know. I'm not saying I'll go to GTA. I'm just saying that was my first thought.
Whatever.
I do think an RPG would be the best as...
The shooter game you die all the time.
Yeah, I mean... Shooters would be... Okay.
Unless you respawn.
But there's no, most shooters are just, very on-track, linear shooters. Mm-hmm. So you're just in that one little spot forever.
Right. And you don't get to see what the world actually looks like.
Yeah.
You just get one little snippet.
But RPGs would be nice because it's all about adventure. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. You can level up. You can get stronger.
True.
So the best game to be stuck in would be somewhere along the RPG line.
Mm-hmm.
I can't necessarily think of which one.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying.
So you don't have any other choices other than GTA/RPG games?
There were Spider-Man 2 for the PS2 was a very good game.
So you want to live in a place where you watch Spider-Man?
The worst thing that would ever happen in that game would a little girl would lose her balloon.
Wow. You were giving me crap about Harvest Moon.
So I wouldn't really care about that.
Your crops could die. And your animals could die.
Spider-Man's awesome. You get pizza.
Dude, you won't be Spider-Man.
You don't have to be Spider-Man to see him.
Oh my gosh. Just seeing him is enough.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. I think RPGs is a good road to take with it. Obviously, like The Last of Us is one of my favorite games. Definitely don't want to live there.
You would not want to live there.
I would not want to live there. If we're going by Final Fantasies, which you went off the bat with me, I would say...
Sly Cooper series would be fun, but you'd have to be an animal.
You would. But you'd be Sly. What?
You wouldn't be Sly. You would be an animal, but all the animals in that game are really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be fun.
That would probably be fun. What else?
Red Dead Redemption
Would be interesting.
Could be fun back in the Old West.
It could be. Yeah.
One of their Old West games are there.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Not many.
Mass Effect wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the ones I thought about saying was Mass Effect. Then I thought the Reapers and like all the there's just a lot of genocide going on all the time. It seems like like whole planets being wiped out, and like if you thought Elder Scrolls is bad with like a dragon burning up a city or something, think of an entire planet. Like you can't escape that.
That's right.
The planet's dead. So that's why I kind of shied away from that. But I think that too has a lot of like if I'm going to be stuck somewhere, I want it to be full of wonder and coolness, which is why I said magic in Skyrim, but also or in Elder Scrolls. But I think Mass Effect has that too because you have all the different planets, all the different worlds, and all the new technologies to explore. So I think that's cool.
BioShock would be really fun, but only if you live there before the fall of everything.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But that doesn't take place in the game, so I feel like that's off limits.
Yeah. I think you have to be stuck in the setting of the game.
Far Cry will not be too bad. Far Cry 3, there's the evil pirates on the island, and then there's you and your like 4 friends.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be one of those people, I would assume,
or a pirate.
Yeah. So,
which you're a pirate, so that's awesome.
Yeah, but you have this guy Jason Brody coming around and killing you all the time, killing all your people. But the level would be really fun, like the landscape.
Yeah.
Have you ever played the Saboteur? The Saboteur was like a World War II game. It was
PS2,
PS3.
Oh, okay.
You would play as like this French revolutionary in Germany, I think.
I have not played it.
Possibly. So it's like a third-person shooter, kind of like GTA, where you can go around and do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole gimmick of the game was you're in occupied France or Germany or whatever, and the more section of the game you take back from the Germans, the more color the game gets. Wow. So in the very beginning, it's just black and white and red for the Germans. You conquer the red sections, and then you get color in the game, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. That's a cool concept.
That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember when that came out.
Watch Dogs would not be bad. Watch Dogs, the main story really only has to do with one person and not like a global catastrophe. Mm-hmm. Same with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
In the past, there's not really big global catastrophes. It's normally just, these people are bad, I'm going to kill them.
Yeah, it's kind of like behind the scenes, good versus evil.
Yeah.
Like that's what Assassin's Creed is. I was thinking another game, Final Fantasy XIV, the online game. It's kind of cool.
That means nothing to me.
Yeah, I mean, it just has, again, lots of diverse cultures, diverse geography. The terrible world event has already happened and caused a big calamity, which kind of is what causes the game.
Yeah.
I've never beat the storyline, so I'm assuming there's another one at the end that you have to deal with. But generally, it seems like would be a cool place to be stuck.
I mean, there's one big one we haven't talked about. Pokemon.
Okay. Oh, what am I thinking? Pokemon would be awesome.
Well, would it?
How wouldn't it?
I just feel like you're there and you're abusing these creatures all the time. Like, I know in the anime, it shows, like, Ash is really good friends with all these things.
Yeah.
But, like, if you ever had a dog and you had to discipline the dog, like, hey, don't poop on the carpet, and you, like, rub its nose in it, the dog's still going to come and love you, but you just did this mean thing to this dog.
Yeah.
So, with all these Pokemon, you're like, hey, go fight this. Thanks, you did a good job fighting. Putting yourself out there. Yeah. You still love me? And they're like, yeah, I still love you, even though I don't know any better.
I don't know if that's really that big of a deal.
But Pokemon is not that violent of a game. I feel like the world...
They never really die.
Unless...
And then they're fine after
they do die because they have the cemetery, the, like, 5-story cemetery.
They do, but in the show you don't see...
Oh.
Like, many Pokemon.
There is that theory that Pokemon is after the apocalypse, after a giant war that the Pokemon fought in. Like, that's why Lieutenant Surge is called Lieutenant Surge, because he was in the military.
Oh.
So, if you lived... I assume that as we talked about before, you have to live in the current state of the game.
Right.
So there's no war going on in the current state of the game.
Yeah.
Team Rocket can't do anything.
Yeah, they suck.
Like, what are they trying to do? Steal Ash's Pikachu and, like, make Pokemon evolve and stuff?
Yeah. That's it.
Then nothing is really happening.
There's nothing really sinister. I mean, other than the stealing, there's like nothing sinister going on. Other than the crappy jokes.
I think Fire Emblem would be really fun, except, again, if you die, you die for good.
Oh yeah, that one's like legitimately you don't even respawn in that game. Like you're dead. It's not a good game. I would say we could think of like an RTS, or real-time strategy game, except for we'd probably be like that random little soldier that you're controlling that dies like immediately.
Yeah, you're not like the Overwatch commander or whatever.
Right.
Do you do NBA? Like NBA 2K14 games?
You'd probably be I guess it was also either a basketball fan or you're a basketball player.
I think the chances are higher that you'd be a basketball player.
Why?
Because the basketball fans are always just re-rendered portions of themselves.
Right.
So there's like 10 to 20 fans just scattered throughout the audience.
That's true.
And there's like 100 basketball players.
I suppose.
So the chances of you being a player are much higher than just being a fan.
I'm kind of surprised you haven't talked about Uncharted. Because I feel like you love Uncharted.
I do love Uncharted.
I don't have any experience with Uncharted, but would that not be a good one to be in?
There's not a lot of civilians in Uncharted. So you either have to be Nathan Drake, Elena, or Sully, or the evil people that you're fighting against that always die.
Gotcha.
The chances are you'd be the evil henchman, and you'd die.
So let's take this a different way.
Okay.
Worst places to be in.
In a video game?
In a video game. Worst video game to be stranded in, assuming that you're probably just like some random person.
Any Wii sports game.
Here's mine. Katamari Damacy.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of this game?
Yeah.
Essentially, the main character, you just like pick up things and get bigger and bigger, which is super fun. I love that game. But by the end of it, you literally pick up worlds and stick them together. Oh, not worlds, but like continents. Like that's the credits, is you just like pick up the continents. So essentially, if you're like some random person, what happens is you get ran over by a giant like rubber ball, and then you're stuck forever.
I think
so. That would suck.
Halo would be a bad world because you're either a Covenant or a Flood, or you're the Master Chief Spartan. Sure. As we all know, Master Chief's the last Spartan,
right?
So you're dead, or you're Master Chief. But as we determined, you're never the main character, so you can't be Master Chief. And he dies anyway, I think. Like the end of
he died in the newest one, I think. I think he dies.
I never played the Halo campaigns.
I did. I was thinking Fallout I don't think it's the very worst, but I don't think Fallout would be a good place to be.
No.
Because the world's too destroyed, and there's too much everything's trying to kill you.
I think Fallout 4 wouldn't be too awful, because you can make the shelter. You have these shelters, and you can, one of the things I had to do was you had to make a pure water well. So, I mean, it's essentially just you plant down the well and you get pure water.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And then you can grow food and stuff, grow crops.
Nice.
Now, obviously, all these people are working in very harsh work conditions. But with the new expansion, it's not too bad. I assume the next Elder Scrolls game would be really nice to live in.
Probably.
Don't know.
We'll see. Oblivion, I think, out of all the games, I think Oblivion would be the worst one to live in. Because
I don't know anything about Morrowind.
I played Morrowind. I don't remember the main story.
What about Dragon Age? Good or bad?
Dragon Age? I would say it's not bad. I think there are worse RPGs you could live in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, The Witcher, I think, would be a pretty nice one. Because there's so many people in The Witcher that just, hang out in towns and get drunk and stuff.
Yeah.
There's not, huge calamities going on.
Well, there's also contracts out for all the time, so obviously these things are on contracts.
True. Like monsters outside of town.
But,
you can
favorite pastime, Gwent.
You could play Gwent all day.
I don't
know why you didn't say that this year.
I don't like The Witcher that much.
Okay. Well, you do like Gwent.
I think Assassin's Creed are probably one of the best games to live in.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be the assassin. You're probably not going to be a henchman. You're just going to be a random civilian. And the assassins can't kill civilians. And the henchmen don't really kill civilians. They kill other people. So essentially, you're just living in that Renaissance time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like time travel.
I would say The Last of Us are probably one of the worst. Because everybody's zombie. It's zombie apocalypse.
Infected.
And it's
not zombies.
And it's not even. I mean, they're infected. They are basically zombies, but they're just not the undead zombies. They're
Infamous would be the worst.
You think Infamous would be the worst?
Yeah, because
really, I think Last of Us would be worse.
Because I can't tell you because I haven't played them, and I'll spoil something for you.
Oh my gosh!
Maybe you should just
play.
I played
the third one. I played the third one and the expansion.
You didn't play 1 and 2.
I platinumed it.
What?
I platinumed.
Yeah, but you didn't play 1 and 2. There's not a lot of stuff that happens in 3.
I did play them. I just never beat them.
Well, you need to beat them. You need to finish your story on at least 2.
Well, I don't know how that could beat everybody being infected and trying to kill you. Like, seeing one clicker is so bad. It's nasty. And you're dead if you see a clicker. Essentially.
Unless you're Ellie.
Unless you're Ellie, then you're invincible.
Can...
That's the way to luck out, is if you end up being Ellie. I don't know. I feel like there are so many games, it's hard to tell which one would be the best.
Mm-hmm.
Darkest Dungeon, which I talked about today, would be pretty bad. Because essentially you die. Like, you're probably going to die. Unless you are a person in the town, which there's like 5 people in the town, you're dead.
What about...
And it's like a terrible way to die. Like, you get
KOTOR.
Oh, KOTOR. I mean, that's just Star Wars, honestly. Like, you're just saying Star Wars.
So is it good or bad?
I think Star Wars is fine. I think it'd be on the upper part of the list. A good universes to be in.
Dragon Quest games would be fun. There's not a lot of world-ending stuff. There is.
I don't know, though.
The hero always saved it.
True, but at what point? In what point of the game are you going to be in there? At the beginning of the game? At the middle of the game? Or at the end of the game?
I would assume the beginning is when we would start.
Mm-hmm.
And you just be an NPC.
Yeah. Okay. What about Metal Gear Solid? What do you think about that?
See, I don't know. Of the characters in that game, you're either a henchman or you're a military fighter.
Yeah. And you don't have a peaceful life. That's for sure.
Everyone dies anyway.
Yeah.
Mostly. Guitar Hero. Chances are you'd be... it's one of those things, same as NBA, where there's only like 5 or 6 NPC characters.
Mm-hmm. They just keep copied and pasted everywhere.
So chances are you could be a kick-butt rock star if you're on GTA or Rock Band. Although I don't think Rock Band has actual like characters. Mm-hmm. GTA. Guitar Hero is what I meant to say.
Worst Final Fantasy game to be part of. Final Fantasy X, I think, because giant sin monster final boss guy literally wipes out towns whenever he feels like it.
That's not good.
He's like this massive, huge thing that just destroys everybody.
Skate. The Skate games, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Wouldn't that be?
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Because you'd just be a skateboarder.
That'd be fun.
There's no really NPCs in these games.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that drive cars, so you can drive cars for a living, or you can be a skateboarder.
Better idea.
What?
Rocket League.
Then your car's blowing up all the time.
Yeah, I guess, but...
And you're stuck in an arena.
I mean, you're stuck on a skateboard if you're playing skate.
I'm pretty sure you can get off the skateboard. Dang it.
What about worst game to be stuck in? Candy Crush.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, pretty bad. Well, do you have anything else?
Have you run out of ideas yet?
I've completely ran out. I ran out of ideas like 20 minutes
ago. I think I ran out of ideas again as well.
Okay, well, listeners.
That's it.
Our favorite people.
I didn't mention this. I have been watching Master of None on Netflix. It is Aziz Ansari. He does, it's like a 12 to 24 episode shows. It's like 20 minutes long. It's just a comedy. Mm-hmm. Where he essentially plays himself, but his name is Dev instead of Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I've watched 3 episodes. First episode and the third episode were really funny. Second episode kind of fell flat, so I'm like, well, I guess I'll give it another try. And now I'm definitely going to watch it again. I'm going to finish Log Horizon Season 1, and I'll start Season 2. Mm-hmm. I think you should start Season 1 so we can talk about it.
Okay.
That's your homework.
Okay.
And that's all I've been doing.
Okay. Very cool. Well, listeners, if you have your own thoughts about which video game world it would be best or worst to live in, feel free to email or tweet at us.
Or both.
Or both. Preferably all forms of communication.
Preferably all 3.
You can tweet at us at UPGamersPodcast or email us at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Please, if you would, take a minute. If you're on SoundCloud and listening, hit the like button. Hit the repost button. If you are listening to us on iTunes, please rate us 5 stars and put a nice little review for us. We would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you next week.